The opinions expressed in the Brothers-in-Law show are for informational purposes only and are not a substitute for personal professional legal advice.
Thanks for tuning in to Brothers-in-Law on Go Country 105. I'm Larry Mandel.
And I'm Rob Mandel.
And we've been trial attorneys here in Los Angeles for over 40 years.
On our show, we will discuss current events, talk about legal issues, and have some very entertaining guests stop by. So stay tuned every week for Brothers-in-Law right here on Go Country 105.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Brothers-in-Law. I'm Larry Mandel.
I'm Rob Mandel.
And Rob, I want to hear, we have a special guest today, but I want to go back to some earlier days when we were kids and remember when they had some wrestling on TV. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I think they still do, but I remember watching Channel 9 and seeing this crazy stuff and it just being absolutely absorbed by it. And there was this one guy, the Destroyer.
Yeah.
And, this is even before Hulk Hogan and all that. It was just, it was comical in a way. And, but
so entertaining.
Very entertaining.
Yeah.
But it was a man's game back then, and we're very blessed to have with us one of the top female wrestlers in town. And welcome to our show, Michelle Blanchard.
She's also known as the Dagger on WOW, Women of Wrestling, right?
Yes, I am the Dagger of WOW Women of Wrestling. We air on Access TV.
Oh, tell us a little bit about WOW.
Yeah, WOW is an all-women's wrestling league. So the creator of Glow, the Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling back in the day, has now created a modern-day WOW. We're owned by Jeannie Buss. We've teamed up with Mark Burnett of Survivor and Mark Cuban, and had our first season on Access, which was really successful, and we just filmed our second show last week for season 2.
This is exciting
stuff. And what's the premise of the show? What are you doing?
Well, the Dagger pretty much is in the ring to take out whoever wants to get in her way and make sure to go get that belt.
All right. Men or women or just women?
It's just women. So what's really cool is we're all different types of characters. So I think what sets apart WOW is we have women of all ages, ethnicities, sizes. So a little girl can relate to almost any woman in there. And we're more characters. It's a little more theatrical. It's almost like a comic book story coming alive as well as with wrestling. So you cannot not have a good time at one of our shows.
It's like superhero time.
It is. Actually, our Instagram is WOW Superheroes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm a villain though, but there has to be some villains if they're superheroes.
Yeah. How did you get your name, the Dagger?
The Dagger. So I got my name because I do really collect knives and weapons, and I also do competitive shooting. And the Dagger, though, is also based on that I do Muay Thai kickboxing. So not only do I collect weapons, but I transform my body into a weapon. So the edges of my forearms, the edges of my shins are like edges of the blades, and the points of my elbows and knees are like points of the blade.
Oh, my gosh. And do you use those
techniques?
Yeah, that thing on people in these.
Did you want to test it right now?
Yeah, on the radio. Oh, sure. Oh, ow! Sure. Oh, yeah. Oh, that did hurt.
Did
Thank
that work?
you, Michelle.
How was that?
Hurt so good? Is that what you just said?
Yeah, but
much.
I did actually train, and I've competed in both Muay Thai and grappling and jiu-jitsu before I actually got into wrestling.
And me too. I was a jiu-jitsu student. Yes.
Yeah. Well, okay, I'll match you up. I'm betting on Michelle.
You know
Sorry.
what? I'm not even going close to Michelle in that regard.
I'm betting on the Dagger.
I'm betting on Michelle too.
All right. So do you use these weapons or these knives in your competition as like intimidation or anything like that?
I do come out with the knives, and but they take them away from me in the ring, unfortunately. But in real life, I do carry knives with me all the time, and just makes me more comfortable.
Really?
See a
Because
knife?
you know how to use them.
Yes.
see a
And I'm not
knife?
afraid to use them.
And just
Yes.
just for fun, you off the air, you showed us this big thick one that you gave one to your boyfriend as well.
Yeah.
Can you just take that out and snap that open
Sure.
real quick? Because that thing made. Yeah, I think you don't even need to be on the.
Yes, I thought
TV
we
to
should
see.
have, nice, some girls get matching shirts for their boyfriends, but
Yeah.
this was to me much more functional.
Yeah, you heard that, I bet.
Yeah, and that's why
Okay.
you said that's one of the reasons why I'm not messing with Michelle.
Right, right. So tell us how this all came about. With Mark Cuban and Jeannie Buss. That that's some pretty heavyweight people out there.
Well, Jeannie Buss is really responsible for being excited to promote our league. She has the Lakers. She owns the Lakers, but she wanted really a project that she's really proud of this, that represents women and empowering women.
Right.
And what's really interesting, like I said, we have various type of characters in women, but there's really a purpose each of us get in the ring. So we have a little more storyline than some other wrestling shows, and gives you why these characters get in the ring. So part of the Dagger's backstory, and a little bit is always based on the character of that person. They kind of get a background info and try to write your character to you, which makes it even more interesting. So my character was based on being in a bad relationship that was kind of abusive, and then my character ends up, this is they do get a little exaggerated, so this did not happen, but my deceased husband ends up dying by having an accident in the home with some of my weapons.
Okay.
With the dagger.
Under suspicious circumstances.
Yeah. And luckily we do have a lawyer, Sophia Lopez, who was able to free me of these murder charges.
Okay.
Wow,
And
good
so-
job, lawyer.
Yeah, so it's always there's always this question, did the dagger really murder him, or was she in a bad situation? But now she gets into the ring to not let anyone step on her anymore, to not be taken advantage of, and do whatever she can to get to the top.
Nice.
Vengeance
yeah,
is
and-
mine.
But that is the girl power
Yes.
theme
Yes.
right there,
Yes.
which is so current and so relevant right
Yeah.
now.
Has
Yeah.
the Glow show, has that brought back some popularity to female wrestling, things of that nature?
Yeah, definitely the Netflix Glow scripted show, I think, has definitely brought some popularity back to it, and has helped launch WOW and bring back women's wrestling.
I love it. I got to tell you, I saw a movie not maybe a month or so ago, Fighting with My Family, featuring it's biographically story, and it's about Paige, the wrestler, and she's from England, and she comes from a family of wrestlers, and it's a great story where you don't think she's going to get to a certain level, and she just wows everybody. Right?
Yeah, and that's what's amazing, and kind of, like I said, having different women of different backgrounds, they bring different things to the table. And so sometimes you may think, oh, well, they're not the most athletic person, but there's different things they bring to their character that make them so interesting. And I think that's what's so awesome about WOW, is that we have just all kinds of characters, all kinds of things that girls can relate to. So I think it's pretty exciting.
That is cool. And so how did you get into that?
Well, from my martial arts background, one of the girls I did grappling and jiu-jitsu with, she was already a wrestler. So I kind of was just lucky to come in, because they usually do auditions and tryouts and have this big process. But they were looking for a new person at that time, and she just brought me to a meeting.
Nice.
And I got to meet David McLean, who, like I said, is the creator. And from there, they brought me in, and I talked over with the writer some of my background, and we came up with the Dagger.
Wonderful.
Yeah, because
and these are always, I'm sorry, Larry, but are these from the get-go televised events?
So basically, we just had our big show last week, and we did 3 days of filming, because now that we're at Access, they want more episodes, and they do 16 matches in one day.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and so it's a live show. The live shows are incredibly fun if someone wants to check out a live show the next time. But then they take those, and each 4 matches becomes one episode. So that will air now over 3 months, but it'll air like in about a month from now. So we just finished our big show, and about a month from now on Access TV, it's usually Friday Night Fights. They will air them right after New Japan Wrestling, so it's a good spot right there.
So how many participants are on the show?
There's at least, because what was that? There's about 64 matches then, I guess, if there was that. So there's probably, I think we have about 20 to 30 girls. So like each of us do anywhere from 3 to 4 matches out of those 3 days.
Oh, that's a great opportunity.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And of course, we're on the radio right now, so our listeners can't see that you are incredibly physically fit.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to be, and you're gorgeous. But I mean, you are, you have to be, to do that many matches in a row and to really withstand the physicality of that. You have to do a lot of training.
Yeah, you do a lot of training. So, about a month before the show, because now we have a little more hiatus. Before we did shows more frequently, so you have a little break now after we have this big show for about a month. And while you're off that month, your body starts recovering and you start feeling like, oh, that's what normal feels like.
Yeah.
And then when you come back, it's only like the first week or two, but you're going like, why do I do this? Our warm-ups are just slam your body, jump off the ropes. And you feel like you've been in a car accident, literally. You've been like whiplashed the whole time. And then after like a week or two, your body just like numbs up and doesn't feel anything. It's like amazing. And then you're like, who cares? Top rope. And then you're just like kind of nutty.
So there's this misconception about professional wrestling, as far as the athleticism and things of that nature. Maybe you can weigh in on that a little bit. I mean, this whole thing of, it's fake wrestling or something like that.
Yeah, body slams are not feeling fake, I'll tell you that.
No way.
Yeah.
I mean, when you see how athletic the people are that are engaged in the wrestling matches, it's unbelievable.
Right. And
Tell us more about that.
Yeah. So like coming from a martial arts background, I'm used to contact, and I've competed and stuff like that. I also played football for Ladies Arena Football, Tackle Football League before, so I'm definitely used to contact, but this definitely wears your body, because where like maybe in jiu-jitsu or judo, like you said, you've done a little bit, when you take a throw, you try to roll with it, you try to take the least absorption of that. But this is completely opposite. So I take a throw, I want to make sure I hit hard, land hard, make a big fall, and impact the ground. So, it's a little more of a beating on you, but it is really amazing. I don't know if it's good for you, but it is amazing that your body, after a couple weeks of it, just goes like, yeah, I guess she's going to do this, and it doesn't register as pain as much.
but if you, are you guys doing holds on each other and that sort of thing in these events?
We do holds and some submissions and stuff, and then a lot of being thrown around.
Michelle, could we do a submission, a hold on Rob?
Oh,
I want to see him submit.
I will submit. Don't you worry about that. But when you're in a hold, or you're doing a hold to the other woman in these events, are you actually inflicting pain, or is that one of the things where you're not? That's a little more acting.
Well, you are not in the best position, and things just happen. I mean, you want the match to continue, so of course you don't really try to finish a move.
Okay.
But things are happening so quick and fast, and basically, like, people ask, oh, is it rehearsed? But sometimes you have time to work with someone, sometimes you don't. So sometimes you just have to be ready for a bump or ready for a move, and they just tell you something's coming, and you hope you react the right way. And the better you can connect together, the better the moves look, and are more dramatic if you actually give them time. I mean, if you're fighting them too much, they can't, sell the moves as well.
Because they'll jump on the ropes. I've seen it where they stand on the ropes and then they come flying down.
Yeah.
I don't see how you can't be hurt in that scenario.
You're still going to have to catch them. You're still going to hit the ground. Exactly.
Have you suffered or been injured by someone else's negligence? When you need a legal team that will stand up for what is right, won't give up the fight, and obtain justice, call 818-886-6600. Mandel Trial Lawyers specializes in personal injury cases of all types. Whether it's a car accident, product or premises liability, dog bite, or a catastrophic injury, Mandel Trial Lawyers are there for you when the fight is worth it. Call now for your free consultation. 818-886-6600. Let the scales of justice tip in your favor.
How does women wrestling differ from what we see with in the men's events?
Well, the women's, I think, is for WOW particularly. I think it's just more creative. There's more finesse to what you do in your moves. I think it's more fun to watch versus just being big, strong moves. There's just a little more creativity. We have one wrestler, she does this jumping, like twirling tornado move off the top ropes, like almost like how you do the splash, but she's twirling and lands on them.
Wow,
so
like
just
gymnastics practice.
Yeah, so one girl does a lot of backflips off the ropes onto people. So it's just like, I think, just more creative creative moves and athleticism that you can see in a women's match.
Yeah, because you can see that it's martial arts, and it's stunt work, it's gymnastics, it's all those things combined, which make it, a lot more involved than people really think. It's just not, I'm up there and I'm a novice. No, you are well-trained, well-tuned, right?
Right, definitely.
How many hours a day are you training then, would you say?
About 3 to 4 hours a day the months before the show. One is just getting your conditioning up, because in a match, like my first match, it's they can go anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes. So you're going full out there, and so in these big moves, and so you just have to get yourself conditioned first of all, just to make sure you last through a match. Because all of a sudden, like my first match, I was like, oh my God, I was getting winded halfway through, and then I'm like, I hadn't done the really big moves yet, and I'm like, well, who cares? Got to keep going.
Right.
Yeah. So there's just the conditioning, as well as just, like I said, conditioning your body, and then just being in sequence with the moves and coordinating yourself.
Yeah, as you get older, that's going to be tougher and tougher, right?
Don't tell her
well,
that.
but that's a segue.
I'm older than some of the girls there, so
you look great.
I feel it.
But that's
Michelle,
a segue to the
you
wrestler.
have a lot of years before you get as old as my brother. Many years.
But I'm going to still make you submit, Rob.
Yeah,
but that's a segue to the movie The Wrestler.
It is?
Mickey, about getting older, because have you seen the movie, Rob?
That's right. He's an old wrestler in the movie.
And it's his big comeback, right?
Right.
How is that movie? Is that an accurate type wrestling movie?
Oh, yeah. I know some wrestlers who are in really bad shape, but especially the old school wrestlers. They're absolutely crazy. So where they would, really take the chairs or tables or... jump off like ladders. I mean, we had one wrestler did that move too. She was off of the top of a ladder and did a splash. So definitely can get pretty crazy. Or out of the ring sometimes. With WOW, they have it set up so we have mats outside. But some of the ones on the independent circuit, they're jumping onto cement, and then they start wrestling out there on the side of the ring and taking bumps.
That's something else.
Yeah.
Is it or do you also do stunt work?
I've done some stunt work. Haven't really pursued it, but I've done everything from running on top of a moving train, jumping off of a semi truck for a game show.
Wow.
I've done high falls. I've done actually a show for Playboy TV, and they had me doing stunts on there, and I did like car stunts, and they taught me 360s, 180s, and that was
very
a lot
cool.
of fun. So
is what you do in wrestling similar to doing stunts in any way?
It is similar, and it's not. So I do have a lot of friends in stunts. So I was telling them where they can rehearse a lot more than we do. Like my last match, I went over it for about an hour with the girls, figuring out who knows what moves we want to do. Right. And the first time we actually did it live full speed was in the ring.
Oh my gosh.
And so you're just hoping you have it all down and everything's timing's down. So where stunt people can call cut, or they can prepare for it like months in advance and work out all the details. It's live, and we just, whatever happens is going to happen.
Yeah, it's more spontaneous, but that's where your martial arts training comes in too, because that is, you have to be ready for anything that comes at you. I know that from training.
You know that from training.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, obviously you're signing up to do something that can physically hurt you, right? And so what are your, when you do this, because here we are, you're talking to lawyers now, and most people who get hurt on the job at least have a workers' comp case, right? Do you have to sign away your rights and waivers and things like that in order to participate in these kinds of events?
Yeah,
you pretty much do. Yeah, even in for the training, we're signed off, whatever happens, you're taking that risk. And I just joke there at training. I go like, so if you guys really want to murder us, I guess, and mad at us at training,
but you got the knife. But you got the knife.
That's why I keep it in case it has to go there.
Yeah. Wow.
Stay connected with us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and of course, brothersonlaw.com.
It's not often we get a chance to talk to someone who's in such a unique profession. And it's like, there's all these preconceived notions, but, really this form of entertainment is so incredible and so fascinating.
Yeah. And the Hulk kind of brought it back. Would you attribute it to the Hulk, Terry? you know.
Yeah, definitely. I think that all helps. You know, like I said, a lot of things have been creating more popularity in wrestling, and then like our show that's based on superheroes and all that popularity that's coming, I think really makes it more exciting. So I just think it's a wonderful time to bring out an all-women's wrestling show based on superhero type characters that, like I say, you really cannot have a good time not at one of our shows. People who don't even watch wrestling come to those shows and get so excited.
I bet.
We had Chris Cyborg at our last match, and a lot of UFC fighters were there. So it's just a fun night. And everyone I know, or whether they're actors or whatever, they just have the best time. You can't say anything wrong. You can't do anything wrong. You can cuss out anybody you want. You can cheer on anybody you want. So you can just be as crazy as you want, and you can't do the wrong thing at a wrestling match pretty much.
So are you taping with a live audience?
Yeah, we tape at the Belasco with a live audience in downtown LA. So we just did our last 3 shows last week. And yeah, it's really a great time.
And so if somebody wants to see a live show and like you say, not have any holds barred and cuss and scream and whatever they want to do, how would they find out? How do they get to be in the audience?
Yeah, if you go on our website, because since we just did our show, the next one will probably be another 3 months out.
Okay.
But it's wow, WOWE.com. So wow, and then E for entertainment. And they'll post there when we have shows, and you can also follow the social media at Wow Superheroes, and we'll post when our next show is coming. And you can see also some of the older shows on the website too, and you can find out about the characters. Of course, the most important one, the Dagger, you don't really need to even care of who else is on there.
That's right. Now, do you have a following where they go to the show and they got signs and, and knives, like plastic knives? Like, we got our knives, Dagger! Right?
Yeah, and I had someone make me a Dagger doll, which was pretty awesome. So a little pillow Dagger doll, which was really cool.
Sweet.
So, yeah.
Well, that's incredible.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Yeah. So what would you say to, what advice or would you give to young women who want to do something physical like this and have fun and be in the entertainment business and, or perhaps even get into what you're doing? What kind of advice could you give to young women like that?
I just say always go for it. Don't question yourself. Don't let anyone put doubts in your head. I've obviously come from many different sports background that people would doubt a woman, or because you're beautiful, they say like, why do you even do this? Even when I was doing jiu-jitsu and at a match, they're like, you're the pretty girl. Didn't you get the memo? You don't have to do this. But I always say pretty can get boring. So I think having more skills and things behind you, so not to be afraid. I played in everything from arena tackle football, like what girl does that? But like, why not,
Right.
And that was after college. That was even when I'm a little bit older where, I was looking for other sports to still be competitive. And so I would just say try to find out what you need to do to get involved and whatever interests you. And I think that's what makes life interesting, is pursuing passions and dreams, and go for it, because that's, to me, like how you find your true happiness, is being happy with yourself and experiences that you enjoy.
Well stated.
Very well stated. So young ladies, don't let anybody tell you can't do something. You can.
You can be a Dagger too.
Right. Well, there's only one Dagger.
Dagger too.
Yeah.
Two.
There's only one Dagger. All right. So, excellent. So just to change things up, because Michelle, we're so glad you could make it out today, and it's been a pleasure. It's gone way too fast. We have a few little things we like to get to on the show, but. Again, that website was WOWE.com. And if they want to get, express themselves as a fan, or find out more about you, or find out more about the show, that's where they go, right?
They'll find out stuff about the show on there. And then our Instagram is Wow Superheroes. And then if you want to follow me, I have two. My one for Dagger is wow_Dagger, and then my other account is Michelle, and then X and Mode for like stream mode. So Michelle
MODE
XMODE. So MICHELLE, the letter X MODE. And then you can also see some competition shooting that I do over there, and other weaponry.
Cool.
And when does the show air?
The show will air probably in the next month. They haven't given us the exact date, but it'll be on Access TV. If you go to the Access TV website and put in your cable provider or whatever network. It's on most cable and direct TV and stuff. You can find what channel. And it's usually will be on Friday nights at 8 o'clock. So it should be coming out in another month or so.
There you go.
Very cool. And what is competition shooting, just because you've mentioned that a couple of times?
Oh,
exactly?
so like they set up courses and then you have to, I do everything from rifle and pistol, or they have 3-gun, and you're running a course trying to find the fastest way to complete the course with the most accuracy.
All right. So you're shooting at targets as you're running.
Yeah, targets. Yeah.
Or as you're going through this course. Now that's similar to there's a Olympic event that has that incorporated, isn't it? Isn't there?
I'm not sure.
I think there is.
Yeah. There might be a.
Very cool. Yeah. All right. So we're going to move on to our tip of the day for a moment, Michelle. And Larry, tell us about our tip of the day.
So this week's tip of the day is about earthquake preparedness. We are here in California, and we're in earthquake country. Do you know that where your gas meter is?
I do not.
Yeah, well, you should.
Okay, I'll find out.
And do you have an automatic earthquake shutoff valve, also known as a seismic gas valve?
I do.
On your gas meter? Good. These valves.
Do you have one of those, Michelle?
Yes, I do, and I know where it is.
All right, good for you.
Good.
Okay.
And these valves are required in some cities in Southern California, but not all. It's a good investment if you don't have one, and call a licensed plumber contractor and get one installed. If you don't have one, learn how to shut your gas meter off in an emergency. Better safe than sorry, Rob.
That's right. So, Larry, do you think this California law is true? And I'm going to ask Michelle, too. Do you guys think this law is true or false? It is illegal to have a monkey as a pet in California. What do you think? True or false?
Michelle?
Michelle's thinking, who the heck wants a monkey?
Who cares?
As a pet?
I would take a monkey.
Oh, she wants a monkey.
All right, cool.
I'd say if Michelle has a monkey in California, it's legal, but maybe not in other states.
I would say, question was, is it illegal?
Yeah, is it illegal to have a monkey as a pet
I think
in
that's
California?
false. I think there's regulations.
I think you're correct. It is false. However, Larry, producer Cam is telling us it is false. However, in some states, like Larry said, it is illegal. It's legal in 38 states, but in several states you cannot have a pet monkey. However, in Oregon, you can have a monkey as a service animal.
That's what I was about to say. Can it be a service monkey?
Yeah,
hey, that's
I
crazy.
think anything.
Service
My friend had a monkey at one time, and it was a big. He put diapers on it. It was a big hassle.
It's like a baby. I don't need that actually.
Really? Because there's nothing worse than a mad monkey. When they get mad, step out of the way.
Like
I'm not even sure the Dagger can handle a mad
it's like a toddler. They're like, here, pass this back.
Exactly.
So I think it's time to check the Mandel message box, Rob.
Now it's time to check the Mandel message box.
All right, so Terry on our Instagram wrote in, my 14-year-old daughter, okay, we're talking about a young woman, is being cyberbullied. Oh, my. I periodically check her electronics and found some private messages that are unsettling. My daughter has responded to them the best way she could, but my next move is to contact the parents and her school. If this continues, can I take legal action? I just want it to stop. What do you think?
Restraining order.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
If she knows who the cyberbullies are.
Yeah, you don't want to go to the school. There was a recent situation where a mom went to the school unannounced and started threatening the kids who she thought were bullying her kid. And that caused more problems for the mom than she anticipated.
But I don't think she means that. I think she meant go to the school administrators.
Which is a much better idea.
Yeah, that you can do. But yeah, I don't think it's a good idea to try to confront the parents directly. Maybe the parents. But
I like to just confront people directly.
Yeah, I can. Here's what we're gonna do for
like the kid.
For Terry. We're gonna send the Dagger over to handle this cyberbullying situation.
Tell me who. We'll figure this out.
Okay.
Actually, I tell my kids, I go, either you handle it or I can come and handle it, and usually they kind of rather have them
Mom.
step up.
Right,
They rather step up first before
Not the Dagger!
It's all worked out great.
Well, it's about time to wrap things up, and I think we've worked up an appetite, don't you think? Let's go get some breakfast now.
With Michelle.
Yeah,
Yes.
Michelle Blanchard, thank you so much for being here. You've livened up our morning. If you've missed any part of the show, you can find us on our archive shows, Brothers on Law, or at thepodbean.com or our website. Thanks for tuning in. We hope you have a great weekend. And stay tuned next Saturday at 8 a.m. here on Go Country 105. And just remember,
let the scales of justice tip in your favor.
The opinions expressed in the Brothers on Law show are for informational purposes only and are not a substitute for personal professional legal advice.